So we have a photographic event lab for the Halloween events this year. This one's from JOKERNEMESIS664. So this hangar has got a little bit of darkness to the lighting above, but we can try and utilise some of the areas that they have flagged initially. But let's see what we can do. Over here we do have some light. We'll see how that plays favourable for us. I mean, it's definitely a huge pumpkin, let's be real. But you know, obviously, you know, D-pad, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in. Just depends what you're after. Now, also remember, I've got a video on it, but removing the height restriction on the camera so you can get better height access as well for cameras. I've got a separate video as well, which you'll find in the photographic lab playlist as well. That way you can then get better shots. So something sort of like this, for instance, is going to be definitely a good angle. We can utilize the light and the actual environment. Obviously we've got more pumpkins here, some there, but let's continue on. This one does have a few things going on. So we've got the tunnel environment, a lot of pterodactyls flying around. We've got gravestones here, of course, so can we get any good shots here on the gravestone? Actually, here we go. Now you wouldn't be able to normally get up this high normally with your ordinary camera height, but huge pumpkin giant trying to crawl over, really cool. Now lights in over here, we could actually pull up over there and do a shot there, but we're going to start with a shot of this description because it captures both the giant trying to crawl over the actual building, and we can also snag the gravestones. Excellent. We're going to go back a little here where we can hopefully get some shots there. Definitely quite a few options that you can go with here. Obviously without the as much darkness from the shot we just took, you can get that shot with the waving mechanical on top. I think our livery goes well with the Homer in Lolly Sugarland, so that should work well. Let's head on through. Now, dragon wise, depends on where we need to be positioned for this, but front of the dragon, obviously it looks like it's going to get eaten by the big serpent. It is a vibrant piece from the Chinese props, if I'm not mistaken. So something of that angle, again, tilted, just depends what you're after out of that shot. Something like that. That actually works quite clean. Again, we're using the saturation filter and we're actually running on the Series X. I might just find it a little more safe than the DC. Plenty of lights in and around the area as well. You can take photographs in front of any of these dancing pushing guys. This guy actually has the checkpoint right in the eye it was. I mean, shot wise here, obviously depends on, use it like as a car salesperson type dressed up costume. It's almost the same color as the car. Quite funny. And obviously this background theme here does work well. I've noticed they've actually got yeah, they put the googly eyes on there as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, something like this you could run with, for instance. trick is trying to get a backdrop that isn't going to be cutting in on it. But that's where you can have a bit of a fiddle when you load it up. Now, can we get in front of this and utilize these lights that they've positioned? I know those stadium lights are a challenge to use. They're definitely doing their job. Bring the car up and see if we can get a cleaner shot on this. The thing is, you can't bust the bulbs on the stadium lights. That is definitely one big pro on. But is it going to be awkward enough to actually get in there? Sorry for the fiddling. Got an angle, cleaned any damage off the car. We're going to have to do some fiddling with the filters, of course. So let's pull the filters up. Soft definitely brings the brightness to it. Natural definitely brings in the color spectrum a bit more normal. Saturation is extreme. See, I think in relation to the backdrop I've got, saturation is cool. There. But it blows the background out. So let's just try natural for a second, see what that will do. Yeah, definitely a tough one to pin. Probably a little bit of fiddling to be done to try and get the perfected shot that you wanted. But yeah, it's got that option there. Let's get on over. You can take photographs again. A lot of these, the snowman you can get a photo with. This house is actually pretty interesting. With a lamp underneath, how does that work? I like how they've thought that out. It's the Christmas cabin with a pterodactyl. Soft actually works well because of the lamp. Is the house sweeping down to actually get us in this shot? It's just one of those funny things that it's like nightmare fuel. You know, something of that nature. We've got a seashell here, which they actually made that seashell. Wow, amazing. Pumpkin in front of the point there. Googly eyes. Out of nowhere, invisible ghost eyes. Almost like the Cheshire Cat, just so you can see the eyes, but just not the body. Does need a bit of light coming down on this one though. I don't think we're going to be able to filter more onto it. Yeah, definitely not going to filter any more onto that one. But, you know, now this area here I think is going to be the best pumpkin type shot because the amount of pumpkins here, something like this. With the saturation for the colour of the orange on the pumpkins, I think this is good. Soft works well. saturation. Got a sugar skull behind as well. Interesting. So work the area to how you want it, but an actual tree with pumpkins just growing on it. Definitely, they've thought through what they wanted. Actually, we could park over here. Just realised. Big brain idea. Okay, come on, Audi. Come on. There we go. Part of the pumpkin patch. You know, you could probably bring it back a bit further in there, but again, something that you can do when you actually pull this one up. Again, if you've got the camera restriction removed, you've got quite a few options there. But yeah, ultimately, definitely some great options there. Something like that. On to the next location. Got some T-Rexes in the picture there. We have a flying dinosaur. More pumpkins. Now this is where you really want to be mindful. Up ahead is the finish line. If you want to get to the finish line area, but you don't want to trigger it, that is where you're going to need to avoid this part up if there is a bounce mat. Now, I want to get up to the house to show you, but the problem is you hit that bounce pad, you're going to immediately trigger and land in front of the house. So we want to Here we go. It looks awkward, but if you actually approach it normally, you will know exactly what I mean. Now we can at least get a really good shot of this house. We have, again, the robotic mechanoid pumpkin, a sentient barnyard door, looks to be halo prop work there, robot hands come through. So this is meant to be its legs. Yep, so it's sitting down, hands through there. Just absolutely brilliant. Fence there. So if you want to try and get a shot though, best angle. Sort of wish they'd actually had this before the finish line, but and not so close. It does make it awkward. But yeah, this is the really neat angling you can get as well. There, and of course it could also go something like this, like a postcard form. Yeah, I want to get more of that front headlight in. It all comes down to the details. Now, if I'm able to, I am going to try to just don't hit the finish point. Perfect. So this is what you want to avoid, because this is why the position of that is a bit awkward. And we definitely hit something there. Very odd, but that's what you can. There is definitely something going on there. We may need to just drive around those eyes. This. So that's what you want to avoid, because as soon as that triggers, you can't get into the photo. So At the end of it, if you want to get a photo with the funhouse, drive around the finish line, do it. Best trick. Alright, on that note, hopefully you like that photo map. Like I say, it's one of the more interesting photo maps I've seen for the Halloween window so far. Hope you had a great Halloween, of course. And do check out our Halloween playlist, as always. And if you do like maps of this style, front of the video when you enter the code, in-game, bottom of the screen, have the button prompt that you can hit to follow the creator of this particular event lab. In the meantime, check out some of the other hand-picked Halloween events we've got on the screen, or check the channel out if you're looking for some more serious race, rally, or some rock crawls, photo labs. Otherwise, cool. That's me out for this video. Catch ya.